Hey Vespa fam, I'm on my way back down to Cadre Cycle to talk to my friend Matt about basic Vespa maintenance today. So, confession time, before I actually took the plunge and got my Vespa, I actually was somewhat held back by the fact that I'm not a particularly mechanical person. And obviously, keeping a two-wheeled vehicle in good shape is very important for safety's sake, for sure. And obviously, if you buy something like this, you want it to last a good long time. So I was a little nervous about the general upkeep and just owner responsibility of maintaining my Vespa, but it turns out this wasn't nearly as big of an issue as I thought it would be. So today we're going to talk to Matt about just the main things we need to do as Vespa owners to make sure our bikes are running for a good long time and they stay maintained and safe for us as we ride as often as we can. So thanks for watching. All right, Matt, so what would you say to somebody who really wants a Vespa, but they're very concerned about just general maintenance and upkeep?
Terrific, they should be. Maintenance and upkeep is really important. However, they're not scary. So there's two things they're really going to be concerned with. They're going to be concerned with a scheduled maintenance. That is provided a schedule from Vespa, do this at this many miles, do this at this many miles, so on and so forth. Those things, unless you're very mechanically inclined, typically take it to your local Vespa dealer that you have a good relationship with at the scheduled times, which are about 6,000 mile intervals.
Okay.
So depending on how you ride, for a lot of people, that's a couple of years. For others, it's a few months,
Right.
But it's every 6,000 miles. What most people can do then is really more upkeep, right? And like any other mechanical device that you have, from a dishwasher to a lawnmower to your house to your car, upkeep is important for longevity, for quality of life with your Vespa. But it's really not complicated, and there's really maybe 3 or 4 things you want to do in between those service maintenance schedules that will help your Vespa be trouble-free and last a very long time.
All right, well, why don't you get into those? Why don't you start talking about what specific things the average owner can and should do?
Sure. First and foremost, and this sounds so simple, keep it clean, right? We see Vespas and motorcycles that'll have similar mileages on them. One's been kept clean, one hasn't. And the difference in their mechanical condition is always shocking.
Interesting.
Dirt, road grime, all of these things, if left on the vehicle, will eventually damage paint finishes. They will rust bolts. They will make everything work not quite as smoothly as it should. It'll get inside the fluids. It'll just wear things out. It's kind of like brushing your teeth, right? You might not notice the first day you don't do it, but if you continually ignore keeping it clean, you're gonna have serious problems.
Gotcha.
Now we use, and it's important, Vespas have some of the best paint in the business. Very high quality, automotive or better style finishes. Don't use your Dawn dish soap. Please go get a professional cleaner, a motorcycle, a scooter specific soap for washing it. And then in between that, we use a spray detailer just to give them a wipe down and keep them shiny. So keep them clean.
All right.
Tires and tire pressure. I cannot express how important these things are. They're the only things that contact the road. Now on a Vespa, checking your tire pressure is very simple. There's a little valve stem right here in the front. It's always on the side that doesn't have any of the mechanical components. You should check them honestly before every ride. You can get a gauge at any automotive store for pretty inexpensively. They even sell ones that have a little compressor built in where you can tell it how many pounds of pressure and it'll make sure your tire's there. Speaking of which, your Vespa will tell you the tire pressure. It's printed on the placard that has the VIN. On yours, that would be...
It's like right in here.
Yes, on the GTSs, they're on the side. So check your manual, check your placard. Typically, they will say 26 pounds in the front. 36 in the back, but that 36 is if you're riding two up. We use 32 typically in the back if it's just you. So tires, if you don't mind, I've got a sample I wouldn't mind kind of showing you because there's one more important detail I want people to be able to pick out.
Absolutely.
Terrific. I'm going to head to the shop for just a second. So what we have here is actually one of my summer tires for my personal Vespa. I change them out in the summer, put on snow tires because I'm a maniac. But normal people, there's some things you want to look for on the tire. You want to make sure the tread depths are good. They sell gauges for that, but they also have little tiny rubber markers built into the tire that if you get to there, the tire's worn out. Again, we talked about that valve stem, but one thing I really want to pay attention to, forgive me, it's on the other side, is this little number here. Many people don't put that many miles on their Vespa, so their tires will last for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years before they wear out. That's really too long. The rubber industry, tire manufacturers, we agree with them. Typically 5 to 6 years old is when you want to change your tire, regardless of how it looks. The internal components of the tire will start to age and tires are too cheap to risk it. So this little number here by my thumb, and everyone will have one, has 4 digits at the very end of it. In this case, it is 0522. That simply stands for the 5th week of 2022.
Okay.
Not the month. A lot of people think it's the month, but it might say 4722, and that would be the 47th week of 22.
Okay.
So my personal tire for my Vespa, was built in 2022. It's going to be 4 years old. Even though it's got good tread on it, by next year, I'm probably going to be changing it out. So tires, super important. Take good care of them. Keep them filled with air. And when they get too old, it's time to put them out to pasture.
Now they do need to check the tires when they're cold. Is that right?
Excellent. Yes. Thank you. Very astute. I appreciate that. Tire pressures will change with temperature. Typically 1 degree for every 10 pound, or 1 pound for every 10 degrees or so. Okay. They'll also lose pressure over time. It's normal. When you're checking your pressures, if it's every couple of weeks or every month and you find that it's down 1 or 2 pounds, don't panic. But if you're checking them over and over and all of a sudden you discover, oh, it's down 5 pounds. Normally it's down 1 or 2. Maybe it's time to bring it to your local shop, let them check it for a leak. Maybe you've hit a screw or a valve stem's leaking. So that's why we want to check our tire pressures. These are small tires. They don't hold a lot of air, so losing just a little bit will really drop that pressure.
Right, and when you only have 2 tires, they're very important that you keep those going. You don't want anything to go wrong with the wheels that you're riding on.
Right, we're definitely going to do that. We're going to take good care of them, and they'll take good care of you. The next thing we're going to want to check before we take the Vespa out between rides is the oil level, and that's very simple. Both the Primavera and the GTS have a dipstick on the right-hand side. You simply unscrew the dipstick, pull it out. We're going to wipe the dipstick down with a clean towel, put it back in. We're going to screw it almost all the way down, just to where the little O-ring hits. And then we're going to pull it out and look at it again. Now this one here's got oil right in the middle of that crosshatch section, which is where you want it. Anywhere where the mark is crosshatched, your oil level's fine. Don't do anything. Okay. You don't need to add at that point. You don't need to subtract at that point. If you check it and it comes out and it's dry, okay, now we need to add. Typically, the distance from the bottom to the top is about 8 ounces or so. But go ahead and check that oil, and if it's in that crosshatched area, you're good to go for a ride.
Okay, what would you say to someone who really is not interested in adding oil themselves? They should check, and then what would you recommend that they do? If
it's on the stick and you're concerned, bring it to your local shop. We want to take care of people of all mechanical skill levels, right? These are not reserved for mechanics and technicians to own and live with. If you can't check your tire pressures, hopefully you have a relationship with your Vespa dealer or a good shop that will help you take care of those things. I mean, that's why we're here, right? We're here to take care of people. So anything that you are concerned with about your Vespa, hopefully you built that relationship with your local Vespa dealer. Stop by and say hi. I mean, we love it when people come by, right? Hey, what's going on? Have a cup of coffee and let's take a look at the Vespa. Make sure it's safe to ride.
Yeah, because it's not a shop, it's a community.
It really is a community.
And it's good to support the small businesses that are keeping this kind of lifestyle going. So, all right, we've covered tires, we just covered oil. What else?
Really, the last major thing that we want to keep our eye on between rides and major services is going to be the battery, right? Nobody wants to get stuck out there 50 miles from home and not have a battery that's looking good. So every Vespa we sell and most good Vespa dealers are going to install something called a battery tender. We typically put ours right underneath the pet carrier, right? Now, you won't be able to see it. I'll bring it up the oh, yep, you can, right there. It's a little 2-pronged plug. Now, very important. When you buy a battery tender, right, the actual machine that you're going to plug into your garage and plug into here, get a UL listed device. Please don't buy the cheapest thing on the internet. UL, Underwriters Laboratories, they've tested them. They're safer. You're plugging electricity from your house into a battery. We don't want fires. We don't want mishaps. They're not expensive.
No, they're not.
Good ones aren't expensive. So I personally have 4 of these at my house, and every vehicle that I park, I plug in when I get home every day. It's overkill. I don't have to do it.
But it doesn't hurt anything.
It doesn't hurt it because
Right.
a good one, a good tender, will do exactly that. It'll bring it right up to the best level and then keep it there.
Yeah.
So really important, keep your battery charged. We keep the tenders right there. Buy a good tender. If you ever do need to check your battery or to change your battery, and you should do this occasionally, Vespa battery panels are right here in between kind of the seat and the glove box. This is maybe the most useful Vespa tool on the planet. It is a T25 Torx bit, right? You can simply unscrew these 4 little screws right here in this panel. And I am not a technician by any stretch of the imagination. Around here, mostly I pet dogs and pour coffee, but even I can do this. And the reason we're going to do this, there's one more thing under here you want to look at, and I just want people to see how easy it is to take off this panel and check this thing, because this, I promise you, has left me stranded before. So once you loosen those 4 little screws, that panel comes up. Hopefully you can see the batteries right there. There's a red cable on the positive post and a black cable on the negative. We just want to make sure these are tight, right? Typically, you could just give it a little wiggle, each of those cables. If they don't move, great. The scooter bounces around. Obviously, it's going to shake this battery. I promise you there are people who have been stuck on a ride because those little cables got loose and all of a sudden the Vespa wouldn't start or wouldn't stay running.
So how often would you recommend they check the battery like this?
Every few rides.
Okay.
And if you do find yourself out in the ride and your Vespa maybe is starting a little weird or starting to act a little weird, keep one of these in your toolkit.
I think it comes with one, doesn't it? Yeah.
And then you can check it yourself. And this is a number 2 Phillips head, number 2 Phillips screwdriver to tighten that with. Okay. So you will fix a problem. If it's someone else on the ride, you'll get to be the hero. Always fun. But yeah, 4 simple screws to get access and then 2 simple terminals to check. So we've talked about keeping it clean. We've talked about keeping the oil level full. We've talked about checking your tires, making sure they're full. And we've talked about the battery. Between services, that's really it. The last thing I'd really like to touch on that often gets ignored. This is a GTS. It has 3 functional fluids. It's got the oil, it's got brake fluid, and it's got coolant. Now, the lighter Primaveras bypass the coolant, they're air cooled. Those fluids will break down with time, not just with mileage. The brake fluid, the coolant, both recommended to change every 2 years at your dealer. Don't worry about doing it yourself. It is, unless you're really mechanically inclined, kind of complicated, and it's something you definitely want to get right. So those fluids every couple of years regardless, and the oil as well. Oils are a lot better now than they used to be, but still after 2 years, if you haven't reached the 6,000 miles, go ahead and change those 3 fluids. Other than that, people have a concern typically in coastal areas. Sometimes we get questions about rust because they are so much steel, right, versus a plastic component. 2 things there. One, again, very good paint, keep it clean, right? Italy is coastal.
Yeah.
Right. They've been coastal for 80 years and been making Vespa. They've been making them on the coast. Secondly, if you want, we have had some people who just finished the bottoms of the scooters with a type of applicant. A body shop can apply it. It's kind of a rubberized sealant for the bottom of the Vespa. Other than that, they really are a kind of worry-free lifestyle. There's nothing to be intimidated about here.
Awesome. Well, it seems like it's not terribly intimidating, it sounds like, to be able to kind of keep an eye on the major things and be able to maintain your Vespa, and the bottom line too of keeping a good relationship with a local dealer and service provider. That's fantastic. All right. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thanks for stopping by.
All right.